In this section, we're gonna talk about this keyword. So you might be confused. This keyword. So there's a keyword called this, and it's pretty confusing for a lot of people. It has been confusing to me as well when I was learning object-oriented programming. And let's jump right into it. So here I have the rectangle class, and we can have a length. That would be a double. And we can also have the width. So we're creating a rectangle object here. And we can actually calculate the area. So this will return a double, which is the answer to the area of the length or the area of this rectangle. So we can just return the length multiplied by the width. So that's how you that's how you calculate the area, right? And what else can we have? We can have, oh, sorry. You can say public. We can just, with this return void, yeah, void. And we can have this show method. So this show method will just output something like, this is a length by width rectangle. So it'll show the dimensions of this rectangle. So it'll say this is a 4 by 2 or something like that. So I'm just gonna go over here and instantiate this. Call this R1 is equal to new rectangle. And down here, I'm just gonna say R1 dot, I just want to say show. I'm also going to call the area method. And so far, so good. Now, remember, we have to encapsulate these. We're going to encapsulate these. And now we have to create getters and setters, right? So we can say public. We start with the set. We can set the length to int. Just going to say s length. And in here we are setting the length to s length, like that. And we're doing the same for the others, right? So we're doing the same thing for the width. Void set width to, actually this is not supposed to be an int, it can be a double. Width is a double, s width. So I'm sure you can understand by now how to do getters and setters. If you're new to this channel, by the way, if you've only caught on from this video, you can go back to my previous lesson where we talked about getters and setters, because if you're starting from now, it's going to be difficult to understand. So this will return a double. We are going to get the length. So this will just return the length. And we can say double get length or get width. And we can say return width. Yeah. So now we can actually set them. We can say r1 dot get and get the length. But before we can get the length, we're supposed to set the length. But I'm not going to get anything here because I'm not going to use that value. I'm just going to set the length to 12, and I will set the width to say 8. And then I'm going to run this. And what you get here is this is a 12 by 8 rectangle. So another thing I wanted to do is, instead of getting these double here, okay, I think that's fine anyway. So yeah, so that's what you get. Now I wanted to talk about this keyword when it comes to getters and setters, or when it comes to anything in general. So instead of saying length is equal to s length like this, instead of using this s length here, we can just name it the same as this attribute here, as the same as what it is, and also like this. But we're gonna have a problem here. Java is not going to know what this length is. It thinks you're talking about this guy, so it thinks that you're setting this guy to itself, which is redundant and crazy. So to specify to Java that you're talking about this attribute when you're saying length, you say this dot length. Now it knows that you're talking about the data member of this object, of this rectangle, and then you're setting it equal to the parameter of this method. So I hope that's not too hard to understand. So you can do the same thing for setting this guy down here. We can say this dot width is equal to s width, and that's going to be the exact same thing. We can change this to the same thing. Now this is useful when you have the same name for your argument and the data member inside this class. Otherwise, you can eliminate this keyword and use the exact same way that we've been coding. But it's important to understand that this keyword, because a lot of programs have that, and you're going to need to understand them. So moving on, that's this keyword, and we'll talk more about that. So there isn't actually more about that, but we'll use it more when we're dealing with constructors. So that's what we're going to be talking about on the next video, and hope this wasn't too hard to understand. So again, this dot width refers to this data member down here, and we're setting it equal to this parameter down here. So hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new to this channel, and catch me on the next video.